9,000 people back in here and have them have some fun. And then the next goal is to get them here to watch us and not our opponent. We need them every night. Pretty tough facility. Adds to your defense, adds to your passion. So kudos to our people who showed up today. We really appreciate that. And can't say enough about these guys at halftime. Really, we talked most of it. Defense, rhythm, change up a little bit, use some physicality, and we got a defensive rebound. We really didn't make many offensive adjustments, except, you know, we knew they would go to some trapping at some point, so spacing was important. And I got to tell you, a lot of things went right, but the most impressive thing, again, was a DER, a defensive efficiency rating of 0.3. That means every time they touched the ball, they made 0.3 points. I mean, that's incredible, because I have the utmost respect, not only their players and their coaches, but how they play. And I thought our guys did a great job of changing up rhythm. So very happy. It's not football. We can enjoy it for 6 days. We got 3 games the next 5 days, and we got to get back on the floor and walk through some things tomorrow.
Larry, you know, it was a 2-point game at halftime, and then Adams, who was in some foul trouble, came in, hit a couple threes. I think he scored 8 straight points to start, and then it kind of started that second half. Did that really seem to give your team a spark, at least from the bench?
I think, you know, on the inside looking out, yes. But again, I go back to, you can't have runs in basketball. You know how I see the game anyway. You cannot have runs in basketball unless you get stops. You want to go on an 8-0 or a 10-0 run, that side's just as important. And I thought every guy we put in the game had their skull cap on from a defensive, what do we have to do? And then it got a little easier when we spread it out a little bit, because we could space the floor.
Coach, 24 points in the paint. How proud of you are you of the offense being physical inside? And again, 24-10 points in the paint tonight.
Yeah, 22 assists on 22 baskets is pretty good against a team who played 2 very good ball clubs, Auburn and Drexel, and they were shooting something like 26% from the field and 21% from 3. So, not to take anything away from our offense, but I got to tell you, you throw in 33 on some score sheets this year, and you'll get some W's.
Larry, you mentioned changing rhythm, but I saw you go from man to zone a few times. Was there anything in particular that really disrupted them, you know, what you did defensively there?
I wouldn't know as well as their coaches maybe what disrupted them, but I can tell you that I thought we needed to sprinkle in enough zone early, and then after timeouts when maybe they'd look to run something inside. But I thought our guys did a nice job of understanding what, when, and how.
Coach, you mentioned the 22 assists and 22 field goals. We've seen that every game so far. How much is that kind of just part of this team's DNA to do that?
I think they're unselfish. I think we've always been unselfish. At times we're not pretty on offense. But I got to tell you, this other piece is so important. This defensive rebounding piece, 70% of loose balls. We have to do that. We failed to do it last year. So it's not a pretty stat, and it's not something that people talk about. That's not going to be the first question. It's usually banging home shots. But I got to tell you, for this team, defensive rebounding is a must.
Larry, they just mauled Auburn on the offensive glass. To only give up 6, I mean, is that as good as you guys can do?
That's why I say team rebounding. I can remember right at the end of the first half, Lieberman, who probably can't jump over a dollar bill, smashes the ball. Just he knew he couldn't get the rebound, but just making sure that they couldn't. And those are the kind of loose ball plays, 50-50 plays we've got to get on the defensive end if we want to be a good team this year.
You mentioned, Larry, you don't have a whole lot of time. You got another game Monday and even the following Wednesday. Is it kind of good to keep in that rhythm again, to keep playing, or even after a game like this, would you kind of like to have a couple days to?
I think it's better for us. I think it's better for us that we don't talk about it, think about it, get questions asked by you guys about it, and go play ball. And they'll be happier to play ball. The coaches probably want more practice time, but this is an important game Monday because it's the next one.
Any other questions?